Two men, two soaps. Two of the most infamous villains in British soap history. But who was truly the biggest bad guy? Alan Bradley was more of a slow burner, whereas Trevor Jordache was pretty much menacing right from the start. Alan Bradley was in Coronation Street for nearly 4 years, totalling 221 episodes. If I was to ask you how long Trevor Jordache was on the course, what would you think? Just 12 episodes. 12! Both were controlling and abusive men, mostly within their own homes, showing how soaps reflected issues in society. Each presented a believable, ordinary face to the world. Polite, calm, even charming. But their darker side came out behind closed doors. Neither was a cartoon villain. They were human monsters, believable and frighteningly ordinary. Alan Bradley was more manipulative and controlling, at least for the first few years, whereas Trevor Jordache was more literally hands-on. Trevor Jordache's story helped cement Brookside's reputation for tackling uncomfortable social truths. We're going to look first at one of the most memorable villains in my time watching the soaps. We're on the Corrie cobbles to look at Alan Bradley, and later see how he compares to the Brookside baddie, Trevor Jordache. Alan Bradley, a man who seemed charming enough at first, but whose darker side would soon turn Weatherfield upside down. I'll give an overview of Alan's near 4-year time on the street, showing his slow descent from seemingly nice guy to trying to suffocate poor Rita with a Laura Ashley cushion.
Mrs. Fairclough?
Yes?
I'm Alan Bradley, Jenny's father.
Oh, yeah.
It's early in 1986 when Alan makes his first appearance on Coronation Street.
Everything all right?
Yes, a little bit upset, but she's all right. Hello, Jenny.
He turns up to rebuild his relationship with his daughter Jenny. His wife Pat had recently died in a road traffic accident.
You noticed. I'm a very nice bloke.
Why? When you want to be?
Well, there's all...
He starts a relationship with street stalwart Rita Fairclough. Alan has a very volatile temperament and seeks to control Rita. He also has frequent run-ins with several residents of the street. It turns out that our Alan is quite handy with his fists. Rover's return barmaid Gloria Todd is helped by Alan to get a flat just across the landing from Alan.
Are you too tired or something?
I'm a working man, I'll get the sack.
Oh, come on. You can swing it, can't you? Just an hour. Tell them some tale.
And it isn't long before they begin an affair. It doesn't last long after Gloria realises Alan and Rita are also an item.
People will talk, you know.
Let them.
Ah, you say that now, Rita.
He eventually moves in with Rita and starts becoming more controlling. After losing his job, Alan became financially dependent on Rita and increasingly resentful.
If we're going to carry on seeing each other, you've got a right to know what sort of a fella I am.
He tried modernising her shop, the Cabin, introducing video rentals, etc., much to the concern of Rita's friend Mavis. Alan secretly books a registry office wedding for them, telling Rita they're going to be guests at a friend's wedding.
All you got to do is say yes.
Have you gone start raving mad?
Look, I know I fixed all this up without telling you, and you can nag me about it for the rest of our lives, but just say yes, will you?
But when Rita arrives and learns she's been tricked, she spurns Alan, which only angers him even more. Alan later pretends to be Len Fairclough, Rita's deceased husband.
Hello? Yes, I was wondering if I could come in and talk to somebody about getting a mortgage.
He forges documents and remortgages Rita's home without her knowledge to raise funds to expand his security business. Alan has another affair.
She'll like you, you know. When she gets to know you.
Only right now I'm the wicked lady, am I?
This time with a woman he's fitted a burglar alarm for. Pity it can't detect other types of villain though, eh? Alan takes on a new employee, Dawn Prescott, in his rapidly expanding empire. But it won't be long before she sees his dark side.
Out to lunch, out to dinner and skip away at the last minute. Well, the game's over, love. It's just you and me now. No Martin, no customers, just you and me, okay? Oh!
After sinking most of a bottle of whiskey, he makes a pass at Dawn, and when she makes it clear she's not interested, he tries to force himself on her.
Maybe. But Alan regularly gets letters addressed to Mr. Fairclough. He doesn't know I've seen them. Mr. Leonard Fairclough.
In an act of revenge, Dawn lets Rita know about Alan passing himself off as her late husband. And Rita begins to realise she's going to have to confront Alan. Poor Rita. She was always one of the nicest characters on that famous street.
You bitch! You stupid bitch! Maybe your time's up and all!
After Rita exposes him by telling the building society what Alan's been up to, he tries to kill Rita by suffocating her with a cushion on Jenny's 18th birthday.
Dad, wait.
Hey, what the hell's going on here? Get out of it!
Rita survives after they're disturbed by Jenny and her boyfriend Martin Platt returning from the party. But Alan flees and goes on the run from the police. He's later traced and arrested for deception and actual bodily harm. Alan does 6 months on remand. In October 1989, Alan goes on trial for deception and ABH. But with the time he's already spent on remand taken into account, he walks free to continue tormenting Rita.
I can't go out on the street. Not without the fingers pointing and the tongues wagging. I can't get a job.
After renting a bedsit near her home and working on a building site overlooking the street.
One day she is going to turn up. And then I'm going to make her pay for what she's done to me.
Rita flees to Blackpool, and with the neighbourhood shunning him, he quickly becomes a man with nothing left to lose. He blames Rita for ruining his life. Alan later tracks her down to a Blackpool hotel. Rita refuses to return with him and escapes Alan's attempt to force her into his car.
Get in the car. I'm taking you back to Weatherfield. Now get in the car! All been looking for you, and I found you, and I'm taking you back now. Get in the car!
Alan chases Rita on Blackpool seafront.
Go back, you stupid bitch!
Running in a blind panic, Rita is narrowly missed by an oncoming tram, but Alan, close behind, is not so lucky and is struck by the tram and killed instantly. There is a blue plaque on the North Promenade in Blackpool to mark where Alan met his end. Mark Eden, the man who played Alan Bradley, reported receiving sackloads of hate mail as the character, and even attacked in Manchester by a lady wielding an umbrella. The episode on the 13th of March 1989, in which Alan tries to suffocate Rita, is one of the most watched episodes in Corrie history, with more than 25 million viewers when taking into account the original broadcast and the omnibus. The episode on 15th of March, in which Rita is taken to hospital and Alan goes on the run, registers nearly 27 million viewers, the highest combined audience in the show's long history. The episode on the 20th of March is watched by 19 million and was the show's highest rated single broadcast of the year. Alan's fatal exit episode is voted 30th on Sky One's 50 Greatest TV Endings and 8th on ITV's 2010 poll 50 Years, 50 Moments.
Knocked down by a flaming tram.
We make the short journey along the M62 to Liverpool and Brookside Close, the quiet cul-de-sac where real houses dealt with real, often controversial issues. Yes, they built real houses for the show, not a TV studio set. Trevor was only in 12 episodes, but his storyline is infamous in UK soap history.
Hiya. You the new neighbours from number 10?
That's right, moved in a few weeks ago.
I'm Mike Dixon.
Trevor tracks down his family, who have been moved to a safe house on Brookside Close following Trevor's release from prison. He naturally pretends to have changed his ways in an attempt to gain acceptance back into the family. Trevor is a master at psychologically appealing to Mandy's good nature, making her believe he's genuinely changed. He's also a dab hand at conning the other residents of the close that he's Mr. Nice Guy. But behind closed doors, it's a different story. When she visits him at his bedsit and learns he's been burgled, Mandy makes the fatal decision to let him move in with them at number 10, the former Corkhill residence. He then proceeds to physically and psychologically abuse his family.
Or I'll call the police.
No, love.
Get out!
Don't you even think about calling the police to me. Do you hear? Don't you dare! Don't you...
Dominating and terrorising them once again. The storyline was quite heavy for its time, the 1990s, dealing with domestic abuse and incest. The show was lauded for forcing viewers to confront issues of domestic and sexual abuse. Mandy tries to get him to leave, but Trevor warns he'll kill them all, and then himself.
Everything's under control. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
Mandy and Beth are often the target for his physical abuse, but he sinks even lower with his youngest daughter, Rachel. In one harrowing scene, he follows Rachel up to her bedroom, as he says he's just wanting a cuddle. I'll leave the rest up to your imagination, but when Beth comes home and finds Trevor in Rachel's bed, they realise they might be better off dealing with Trevor, once and for all. Beth and Mandy attempt to kill him by firstly poisoning him with weed killer, then later crushing up pills into his food. But it all fails, although they do succeed in making Trevor ill. As the storyline peaks, Trevor notices Beth and Mandy crushing up pills and attacks Beth in the kitchen.
I'll kill you, the pair of you, here today, and I'll wait for Rachel. I've got nothing to lose anymore.
In an act of self-defence, Mandy stabs Trevor with a kitchen knife. Trevor's dead, and they now have a body to get rid of. Their solution? Bury him under the patio of 10 Brookside Close under the cover of darkness, in an episode that has become soap folklore. They are helped by long-standing Brookside character Sinbad. The body would lie under the patio for 2 years. Like Mark Eden, Brian Murray also received hate mail and threats, reputedly having to receive a police escort on occasions. People would shout abuse at him in public. Trevor's timeline was much shorter than Alan Bradley's, but then Trevor's crimes were much more serious.
It's under control. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
So, who gets your vote in the head-to-head between the two? Who was the biggest villain? Or who was your favourite? Trev or Alan? You can base it on anything you like. This is just a YouTube video, not World in Action. There were other UK soap bad guys, of course, but they might be dealt with in a future video. I have not watched the soaps for many a year, so I just picked the two big stories from the late 80s and early 90s. If you want to watch more Alan Bradley, there's a great playlist on YouTube. Just search for Alan Bradley Story for a 24-part marathon of his time on the street. Alan always struck me as a bit of a sad character. Trevor had few, if any, redeeming qualities. I think I'll have to give my vote to Trevor. Comment below and or vote in the poll on my community page. Is this mic still on? I need a stiff drink of weed killer after that.